So in Sunday's game against the Jets, Randall Cobb goes down with an injury, which looked pretty serious at the moment because as he was leaving the field on the cart, you could see him crying a little bit, tears coming down his eyes. He puts a towel over his head. And when you see that, you sort of just assume that the player in Randall Cobb thought that his season was probably over. Luckily, after the game, Aaron Rodgers discussed in his press conference that Randall Cobb seemed to be in better spirits in the locker room. The injury didn't seem to be quite as bad as he had thought. And this morning, there was actually some information that came out from Ian Rappaport about the extent of this injury. So here, Rappaport says, Packers wide receiver Randall Cobb received some good news on his ankle, going from initially believing he was out with a fracture to now leaning that it's a sprain that knocks him out just 2 to 4 weeks, sources say. He expressed his excitement on Instagram. But it looks like Cobb should only be out 2 to 4 weeks, which, considering for a little while we thought maybe he would be out all season, as he thought, considering he thought it was a fracture. I guess that's good news, but still unfortunate that we should be without Randall Cobb, maybe 2 to 4 weeks. The Packers could decide to place him on the injured reserve, which is just unfortunate for this Packers receiver core, considering we've already been without Sammy Watkins. Luckily, he could be back this week potentially. And then, of course, Christian Watson also missed this past game with a hamstring injury. So the Packers receivers have been piling up lots of injuries. If we look at Randall Cobb, how he's produced for the Packers this year, he's actually been the highest graded Packer receiver by PFF this year, and he is the 6th graded wide receiver in all of the NFL. And if we take a look at his past game before the Jets injury game, he had 7 receptions for 99 yards. So it clearly hurts the Packers and his wide receiver core to be without Cobb, because he is one of the guys that Rodgers can, truly trust, considering all the time they spent together. So there are some issues here at the wide receiver position in Green Bay. We'll see if they decide to add anyone, trade, who knows. I'll probably make a video on that those potential options later, either today or later this week. And if you guys want to stay up to date with all Packers news, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.